Napoli reached the Champions League quarter-finals for the first time ever, and Osimhen, just reading his post-match comments in an interview, he said, look, we're rewriting the history of this club, and that's obviously a club that Maradona played for back in the 80s and 90s. They're doing special things there, aren't they, Brian?
Oh yeah, they've been a joy to watch this season. They play a tremendous tempo. The energy is a bit similar to how Liverpool were in the first few years of Klopp's reign, in terms of when the opposition have the ball, the intensity in which the attacking players press to retrieve the ball, to give the opposition no chance to build up the play at the back. And then when they get it in open space, they're fantastic forwards. They create chances, wonderful crossing from both wings, the individual skill of Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen.
Better than your effort earlier.
He's a superb player. I mean, Damien, off camera there, we're just discussing how can they hold on to these players. Can they hold on to them next year? Because they certainly win. They more or less got the Serie A won. And it's how they do in this competition. But they haven't just... It's sensational season. But I'm fascinated by the combination of players and the level they were playing at. I mentioned Romani. I moved him from Kosovo to Morocco. He's Kosovan international centre-back. And Kim, the Korean international. And we've seen very little of these in previous years, playing at this level. And they are just so comfortable and so dominant at the level. Zambo Anguissa, again, the former Fulham player, Cameroon.
16 million they got him for.
Yeah, but outstanding in the middle of it with Lobotka and Zielinski. Really, really good side.
And we'll talk about Osimhen in a minute, but just to give Kvaratskhelia his due, like, he looks like potentially sort of a superstar. And I mean, this time last year, pretty much nobody had heard of him. Like, how rare is that in the modern game for somebody to come out of nowhere and suddenly be like one of the most exciting players around?
Yeah, when you consider the amount of tracking applications they have now, and players are known inside out, for Napoli to find an uncut gem like him and to allow him to flourish, you know, in the next step in his career. And the next question is, will they be able to hold on to him, or how long can they hold on to him for? He's only been there a year. But I tell you, he's the type of player would have an awful lot of suitors across Europe, an awful lot in the Premier League as well. You know, that kind of jinky, low centre of gravity, technically excellent, can score goals, can create quick, got the lot really. Yeah,
we'll see a bit of him in a minute, but this first goal, there's loads to love in these goals, but first goal, the header, Damien.
I mean, this guy is a monster, Osimhen. You know, you'd have to watch this time and time again just to see. This cross has stood up, there's no pace on it. It's a wonderful ball in, but for him, in a standing spot, a vertical jump like that, and to generate enough power to get it back where it's in the direction it's coming from, is incredible stuff. Like, I mean, that's undefendable. If you stand up a ball like that, I don't care who you are as a centre-back, it's impossible to deal with it. That type of hang time and that type of agility to be able to generate that type of power and direction, that's a special skill, that. And we talk about the Georgian chap having a lot of suitors across Europe. He's another one.
Yeah, he is a player that so many of the big clubs, of a type that so many of the big clubs, or big spending clubs certainly, are looking for now, isn't he?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a feel of Drogba about him. You know, a schoolyard bully, a number 9, stays high, stays centre, doesn't mind running in behind. Incredible athlete, physically superior to an awful lot of the centre-backs to be coming up against, and he is a prototype centre-forward for the Premier League, and I think there will be an awful lot. Certain West London club that play in blue, Chelsea, would absolutely be crying out for someone like him to lead their line.
Indeed, indeed. He will have many suitors. The second goal then, Brian, is kind of what we were looking at before the game when we were previewing this. Great combinations. You were talking about it a minute ago. Lovely attacking play, and Osimhen with the finish.
Yeah, Lobotka just moves the ball out wide, and here he is, the jinking Georgian, right? And switches the play. Politano is up there, and the ball's whipped back across the goal, and he's in there, in that spot between the between the two goal posts. He is so off. He was for the header. He was for that. He misses the odd one too, stretching out, but he's always in there, and he moves with such agility and quickness to arrive at it. He takes a bit of a thump there, but gets up and plays on. He's the one though they did pay decent money for.
Yeah.
I think they paid 70 million
Yeah.
to Lille for him. He was hanging around in Belgium before that with Charleroi. Never as prolific as he is now, as he's maturing. I think he's 24 now. But as Damien said, can they hold on to him? Will they be able to hold on to him for another season, for another go at this competition next year? It'll be very interesting to see what happens.
And here's the penalty that wrapped it up. Zielinski wins it and takes it.
Yeah, Anthony Taylor is the referee here. When you see it in close, there's no doubt about it. They're all appealing that. But you see here, he's hooked from behind. It's not any doubt. Dibble So, I think it was, who took him down, and just.
Osimhen's still on at that point, but doesn't get the chance.
That's an interesting
no
one.
mercy,
Yeah,
no mercy from Spalletti.
Yeah, that's a coach saying, listen, the penalty taker's up, and if the penalty taker's on the pitch, he's taking it.
The plan.
No sentimentality, but.